Hello, my beloved family and friends. Thank you for joining for this lovely video where we're going to be talking about the topic of how to look after and nurture our energy, how to stay connected to our divinity, and whilst also being in the midst of probably intensity, darkness, suffering, trauma. Okay, so this come in from a question from the wonderful Emma. And I just want to read it out to you all. And this is the comment. As someone who is clairsentient and feels the trauma of people around me, viscerally, coming back to oneness, accepting all that is, has been such a struggle for me. I wonder if you have thoughts on how to balance protecting one's energy while also staying open to people, not isolating. And I think this is a really good topic because this is definitely something that is on my path and my journey. And I'm not going to be here saying that I've got it all together and that I spend all my days like an absolute light warrior, just walking around, being able to heal everybody and not be affected by everything and feel amazing all the time, because I think that as human beings, we are all interconnected. We are experiencing this remembrance of, this collective consciousness, and how interwoven we are with every single person, every person's experiences. And, sometimes we can actually come into that oneness through the suffering as well. And, we can be in this beautiful, blissful oneness, sometimes when we're in our meditations. And we can also sometimes actually, through that deep sense of compassion and love for one another, seeing, feeling, sensing that person suffering. And that also is a sense of coming back to that oneness, really feeling and knowing that other person isn't separate from you, because you can feel them, sense them, and understand every single layer of their being. And I think that's a really profound perspective that I like to look at. I'm not separate from their trauma or their pain. We're not separate from any of it. We are here all together, experiencing it all together in different ways, and it'll all be experienced in different moments as well. But I'm going to give you a few different things that I like to do to nurture my energy and my being. Some of them might be very obvious to you. Some of them might be things that will give you an aha moment. Maybe that's something that I can incorporate and bring into my being. So in kind of contradiction to what I just said, because life is a paradox, you may feel that if you feel like you're taking on too many people's energies, a really good practice to take on is really getting to know what your energy is and what someone else's energy is, so that you can identify it and let it go from your body a lot quicker, and thought forms as well. I have friends that have very, very highly intuitive, very psychic, and let's say there's someone, they go, every time I see that person I can hear them saying this and that about me, they're doing this and that, for example. And I say, well, put this into perspective. Okay, maybe they are saying those things, but maybe that there's a resonance within you that also feels those things, or is thinking those things, and that thought that they're having is then penetrating within you, because it's mirroring and activating something within you to heal and look at. So I think sometimes if we're feeling and sensing something else from someone else, it could also still be internally within us as well. So there's all different avenues to look at it, and it's not to get overwhelmed and feel like you need to again have this all figured out. Just play with it, be experimental. When a thought, a feeling comes in from somebody else, or within yourself about something that maybe you're feeling that someone has a certain thing going on for them, and you're picking that up, really observe that, if there is something there within you that is mirroring that, or if this is something that you're generally picking up for that person. And you know, if you feel it physically, keep hitting this leaf. If you keep feeling and taking on people's literal physical pain, then I just really highly recommend going and seeking like a professional mentorship around that kind of practice of harnessing and honing in how to transmute and clear this energy. You know, it's a very shamanic practice, and you know, you obviously have a very shamanic skill to be able to do that, and that's something that I experience as well, very much so, like the visceral feeling and sensations in the body, and it's taken me time on how to navigate that, and I still feel that I'm learning on how to navigate that. Okay, I'm still on that path with that one. You know, I'm actually working in a care home with lots of people with dementia, and like, you name it, like, this is my training, by the way. Like, so many people think that, you know, this is the hard way, I guess, in a sense. Like, yes, we can go for mentorships and healings and things, but just also see your experiences as training for your soul and your experience as your human, you know, to evolve as a human. This is a really beautiful thing. So I feel like every kind of job that I've ever done and experienced is training for me. It's training up my soul. I could be continually perpetuating the fact that I'm a delicate flower and I absorb everyone's things, and I need to, you know, just stay and work from home and continue just you know, just doing my mentorships and things like that online. So I used to be a massage therapist as well, and still a little bit dabbled in that. But it's like this massage therapist thing, these people were coming to me, and yeah, they had a few issues, and I was feeling and picking up things that were going on in their body. But for me, this is like next level right now, being with people who are on the very severe scale of you know, having illnesses and diseases in their bodies. So being able to withstand not absorbing that, it just takes intention, it takes practice, you know. So for me, if you're in that kind of situation, or you just generally feel these things, you know, for me it's like having that daily practice. You know, in the morning I practice qigong, I sing mantra, you know, I work with light codes and sound, and I create these frequencies that are encoded within my body, if you will, and it's like I create sacred geometry. So another thing, I don't know if you have this as well, but I see structures of sacred geometry, and this is something that I intentionally create around my field and through my body. Intentionally, these sacred geometric patterns and fields. It's also in our water of our body. That's why I create light code artwork, and I put my water on there, and I do that for other people as well, because I believe that, you know, when we intentionally create these high vibrational, pure, divine, loving codes into our system, we upload that energy, then we are able to be more present with our divinity in spaces where that's not as prominent. Because maybe, for instance, people who have a lot of illness, there's always a thought form, there's always a belief system or some trauma that has come from an experience, or ancestral, whatever, and it is manifesting into a physical thing, right? So to unwind that, for me, in this very cosmic star being kind of healing modality, is to rewire it through the codes and the symbols, the geometry, and the sound vibrations. Sound vibrations also create the geometry as well. So if you're making lots of beautiful sounds, even if you're just doing Om, or chanting Sanskrit, or any other kind of sacred mantras, they will help to create that sacred geometric field. It's the same with qigong. You know, you do like clearing. You start off with like a clearing practices, you know, tapping and breathing out sort of practices to release energy, and then you start to circulate energy, and you're doing all these sorts of practices, you know, where you're sort of moving like this. I'm not doing it very well because I've got all these different objects like trees around me, but yeah, that's the kind of the idea of it. That's the with qigong. So those are really great things to help support, strengthen your energy. So this is another thing moving away from this idea of protecting your energy out of like, I need to keep away and not let that thing in my field, but actually being, how I like to see it, is being a very strong energy field, being a strong, vibrant, connected being that allows me to then be so in this particular vibration that can actually just filter that energy, you know. And that's my belief, that I'm encoding it within myself, is to vibrate in such a crystalline vibration that this energy can't hold into my field. So that's how I work with that, and I think it's okay to spend time on your own, you know, those stereotypical things of, you know, make sure that you do carve out time to be on your own, going into nature, spending time with trees and crystals and meditating, like all those things. If you're just practicing that, practicing strengthening your energy field, and you will eventually feel more and more comfortable in these places. And if it doesn't feel right, if it, you know, you can say no. If you feel like you're picking up someone's trauma and things and you're not happy with it, you need to set an energetic boundary there as well, of saying, no, I'm not taking that on, that needs to come out of my field, you know, whether you work with your guides on that, or any other modalities that you might have, to say no. You know, we don't have to be open to everything all the time, you know. We can be a vibrant energy that's connected to pure source creation, divinity, God, goddess. But it doesn't mean that we need to then, that doesn't mean that openness means that we then have to be open to, you know, having to fix everyone all the time. You're not here to be a fixer, you're here to be an emanation of pure divine creation, so that others can actually just be transcended by utterly witnessing you and remembering through your field, because you hold the codes of remembrance, you know. And that's how I walk about my day when I go to this job. You know, I hold that presence. If someone's shouting at me, if someone's telling me all their pain, if I'm seeing certain things that are very painful, I can feel and sense their pain. Like, I really just try and look at that with love. And you know, sometimes I do get home and I'm tired and I need to just crash out and have a nap, because it's like being in a field with a lot of those things, you know. And hopefully one day eventually we'll move into an existence in our reality where that isn't a thing. We'll move into a paradigm where people are nurturing and looking after themselves, not being healed from disease or being managed and held alive whilst being in perpetuating and continuating disease and ill health, you know. These things, unfortunately, have been created through the, you know, humanities or some other beings, whatever you want to put to it. There's some sort of malevolent energy that kind of comes in and is wanting to kind of create these distortions and keeping people in this perpetual loop of illness and ill health. But, you know, we have to say no to that. We have to, you know, be that guiding star that just holds this vibration, you know. And the vibration is divine love, you know. This is the frequency, and I feel, for me, just being in those places helps me to, or helps them, helps the collective to remember through the field. You know, I don't separate it from myself. I don't separate it as a sense of that's them, this is me, this is my vibration, that's their vibration. Like, it's like these are divine beings who have just completely forgotten that, and I just need to be there for that remembrance to take place in whatever shape, form. That might just be on a soul level, you know, and it helps to relieve them through into the next life, you know. But I hope that has been quite helpful. I just wanted to show you something else that was, I don't know if you're in the UK, but this is an oil that I have been using. It does work when you do that. This we go. Really, really beautiful oil that has sacred rose and patchouli. Is it called patchouli? Why did I say patchouli? Palo Santo and some other beautiful sacred woods. I have it written down, but I put this on my body, and this feels like kind of that protective energy that I imagine that you maybe are calling in. So if you're into that sort of thing, like I really love, and this is a Palo Santo one as well, cleansing and protecting sprays. I think that just cleansing and protecting your energy in that way is just, yeah, it's just cleansing yourself, constantly cleansing and constantly working on your own vibration to feel strong in your energy, to feel so strong and so vibrant and alive and nurtured. So do whatever you need to do to feel that nurtured, that alive, that you know, that beautiful energy. Like strong sounds like maybe that wouldn't come across, but you don't need to even think about it being strong. But it's just whatever that word is for you that really feels like that vitality in your body is, for me, it's just strong. It's like it feels strong. It feels like it can be in those spaces because it is just like washing it off, you know, it just washes all of that off. And I just have all these different little things that keep my energy clean, keep doing my qigong, and that just cleans my energy, and just constantly just giving yourself that energy hygiene of cleanliness. And it might seem, I guess, at first like, you know, you're doing a lot and it feels, does it feel like too much to constantly be wanting to wear all these crystals that clean your energy, to putting constant oils and smudging and, you know, constantly calling in certain lights and certain vibrations and guides to help to release and clear your energy, you know, drumming, putting that sound vibrations on, all those things. If you feel like you're constantly doing that, well, it will just become second nature, and you know, you feel more and more like a part of that, as a part of your life. And that's how I run, that's how I roll, and it just keeps me going in these spaces. And obviously my number one thing is to just go and be in nature. You know, I feel so content and happy when I'm there, and I feel like everything just melts away with ease. And yeah, I hope that that's been helpful. And so if you've enjoyed this video, thank you for listening. And for my women out there, with all the beautiful divine feminine nature and practices that I have for you, I want to offer you the womb path. You can join this to connect to your womb, to cosmic codes and energies that will help and assist you with reconnecting to your womb space, as well as the ancestral patterns and things like that we can hold onto, and how to release it. So if you are interested, the link is down below. So thank you so much. Please give us a like and a follow, and I'll see you on the next video.